Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your landscape design. Alright, retaining wall for the front. I designed this out of concrete. The concrete is probably going to be the best option if you're looking for something cost effective, easy to maintain, will stand the test of time, and will certainly perform optimally as a retaining wall mechanism to protect your foundation. It's not if you need to replace your retaining wall, it's when you need to replace your retaining wall because yours is certainly falling into bad shape. Okay. All right. So if you look at the retaining wall, as you can see, it's straight. I did it geometric shapes just because with concrete, it's easier to build in squares and rectangles. As you can see, if you look from the side, it looks pretty straight, and you can see the steps that go down towards the front yard, and I'll show you those in a minute. I off-centered them. So again, the advantage to concrete, it's monolithic, it's strong, it does a really good job of retaining material. It's really easy for us to install. Well, I'll say easy. The framing is kind of a nightmare, but it's a pretty effective solution for us. We do a ton of it. We've built a ton of retaining walls out of concrete. You could do a curved. We could curve some of it if you want more of a rounded look. It just has to look like a big giant circle because concrete doesn't curve that well in tight spaces. So you couldn't get hard curves on the edges. It's just near impossible. It's doable, but it never looks that great. Let me put it that way. So for your particular application, I think the concrete wall that parallels the house looks fine. I think it's just a matter of how you landscape it to make it look the best. As you can see on the side here, it fades into the side of the house, or side yard. The other side will do the same thing. Again, the goal is to protect your foundation. As I come to the front, you can see we have the steps lined with the connection point to the street. It goes uphill. We do it, turns left and goes to the front door. It gives it a little bit more of a modern feel. The beauty of the pattern concrete, as you can see, you're going to have kind of the side that goes down. It doesn't accurately reflect how the dirt will stack against the concrete, but it does. The beauty of the pattern concrete is it does look more natural, and you're not seeing that weird side of concrete walk path. It doesn't look that great. We'll make sure this looks really good after we install it to make sure it really matches. I also add this little bitty monument sign in the front yard if you want to put a number on it. Not required, but I think it looked kind of cool adding that. If you're already this deep into it, order some of these small details. They really won't move the needle that much. Then I created a little landscape bed here and just tossed a hydrangea in there just for aesthetics. Going on this side, again, we'll fade it into the side of the yard here. The blue line is your property line. It will determine the best location to stop the retaining wall for optimal layout. The retaining wall is priced based on linear foot. So if we install 100 feet, it's 100 feet. If we install 103 feet, then we charge it for 103 feet. Okay, and in the front here, two options: a little bit of barrier here in front of the tree on this side, and in a U-shape dirt retention mechanism on the right side. It's just kind of, you don't go with both; you pick one or the other, whatever your preference is. This may not be required. The thought process behind this is once we demo the front around that tree, I'm not sure how high the root ball of the tree is above the ground. We might need something in front of the tree just to hold in that soil to protect the root ball in the front. There's another way you could do it. You certainly could take out both front trees and build a retaining wall for your whole yard and do it completely different way, but I don't think that's probably the optimal thing to do when you have these two big, beautiful oak trees. Okay, let me turn to this side for plants. So I picked plants that are easy to maintain, low maintenance, dwarf fuel pond hollies in the back. I would go with the 7-gallon. Variegated liripe in front, something that's a pop of color, it's bright. They kind of would move it closer to the wall so to kind of distract from the wall being so boxy. A nice, beautiful Japanese maple. I picked the maroon version just because you have that natural limestone in the front of your house. It's a pop. Back here is either holly ferns or wood ferns. You just pick which flavor you like the best. Holly ferns do better in winter, and wood ferns to me are prettier. Wood ferns are going to be your tropical fern or your like redwood forest fern that you'll find up in the California redwoods or up in Seattle or Oregon. And the right side, I just matched it, so whatever's on the left is on the right. Again, low maintenance, easy to maintain. We're not trying to break the bank on landscape because what we're trying to do is just make sure it looks good and keeps the neighbors and the HOA happy. Last bit of it is going to be lighting, so let me go to the lighting page and let me click on the lights. Let me change those. You know what? I don't think I changed them. Give me a second. I think I left them the wrong color. The software default color for the lights is the wrong color tone for the lights. Sorry, let me fix this. Software's goofy. It's like one dead spot. The mouse doesn't work. I don't know why I just started doing it. So I have to minimize it and try to click this one little spot. Alright, match. Let me change this to 3000. Make it a little bit brighter. There we go. Okay, my fault. Okay, that's right. Okay, on the fly adjustment, we're good to go. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's going to be roughly a 2700K color tone, which is going to be kind of a slight yellower tint. The 5000K color tone is going to be like your bright parking lot, commercial parking lot, car dealership parking lot. You don't want that for residential. You want more of the yellow tone. And these are color changing, so if you want to go up and change the lights to 82nd Airborne colors, red, white, and blue, you certainly can do that. Little remote control, you walk up to the light, change it red, then leave it white, then go blue, then red. That's how my house is most of the year. I leave my lights in red, white, and blue. So it's a good way to illuminate the trees and, of course, illuminate along the house. A transformer, the typical entry-level transformers support 11 lights. The second step up transformer will support 17 lights. So we certainly could put lights down the side of the house, 1 or 2 down the side of the house for security. Same thing back here, 1 or 2 down the side of the house for security if you wanted to. My backyard has 17 lights, so lighting just makes a difference when you're entertaining. Okay. Last thing I'll say is inside the house is just a native gravel, not included in this design because you really can't see it. It would be drainage, so we'd capture the drains. Part of the drains would probably go to the back, the rest would go to the front, and put gravel on the side of the house to mitigate erosion. And on your left side, probably the steel edge would go to separate the two properties, and we would capture we'd have the steel edge go down to probably the air conditioners is where I think the grass picks up again and works along the back garage. Then have this will be all gravel if you wanted to as well to mitigate erosion on the side of the house. Some of the soil we excavate from the front of the yard. Out of the landscape beds we have moved to the side of the house and stack along the side of the house to protect your foundation. Then for the yard itself, when we prep it, we'll adjust the yard so it has more of a natural flow to the yard. We'll bring in sandy loam compost mix and make sure your yard is properly aerated for sod when we install the sod. Sod I would install will be zoysia palisades, which is my favorite. You could do zoysia palisades in the main yard, then do it along the street as well. You don't have to do the street if you don't want to, but the cost difference is not that much to do both. We'll fix the irrigation, drainage, retaining wall, all that. The whole 9 yards will do it. It does not require a permit per city code for the retaining wall. I'll have to double check with Alan. It's been about a year since we've done concrete front walk path in Allen, so we'll just double check to make sure code hasn't changed, see if we need to pull a permit for your front. That's it. As you can hear, I'm working from home today, so if you have any questions, just let us know. And if you're a first-time guest, check us out. Check us out at crimsonlandscape.com.